Hello everybody, welcome to this Verbling class. Today's topic is adoption and South Korea. So we've got a really interesting article from the New York Times online newspaper, and we're going to be basically practicing our reading today. So if you would like to practice your reading and pronunciation skills, also learn some new vocabulary, which we always do in these classes, and just have a bit of a chat about this theme of adoption. Then do come along in and join us. I think if you hurry, there are just 1 or 2 slots available. So come along in and you can help us as we read this article together today. And while we're waiting for everybody to come into class, I will just let you know about a couple of things that you can use to assist you in your English learning experience here on Verbling. So I'm going to paste 2 pages into the chat box. The first one is my Verbling Teacher Facebook page, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's a good way of just keeping in touch with things, and if you like Facebook and you're often on Facebook, then it's quite a good way of keeping yourself I don't know, directed towards English studying, perhaps reminding you about your English study. If you like a few of the teachers and see what they post, then it may help you. The other page is my Verbling Teacher page. So this is the page to go to if you would like to find out some more information about any of the teachers. You can find everything that you should need to know there. If there's something missing, then do feel free to write us excuse me, a message using the messaging feature, which you will also find there. But just as a quick overview, you can watch the introductory video of the teacher. You can see the teacher's class videos if they have any. And also you can check out their schedule. So if you're interested in attending any classes with that teacher, you can book from there, and if you would like to have a one-on-one private tutoring session with a teacher, then you can book from there too, and see if their timetable matches up with yours. So it's a handy page to keep your eye on, not just mine, but for all of the other Verbling teachers as well. Alright, so let me remind you, this class is a reading-based class, and today we're going to be reading an article about adoption with South Korea. So what happens to South Koreans who are adopted? We're going to find out with this very interesting article that we're going to read today. But first of all, we need to say hi to our students. So, Mulham, how are you today? Haven't seen you for a couple of days.
I'm doing great, thank you.
Nice to see you again. What have you been up to, Mulham?
I've been studying a lot lately for
well done.
For my TOEFL, and I didn't have the time. I was preparing for the writing section so I didn't have the time to join any classes lately.
Well, that's
on
all
Verbling.
right. You've been studying or writing, which is something that you have to do sort of by yourself, at least when you're doing the writing. How's it going? Are you feeling quite confident?
Yeah, I'm getting better, but there's always the spelling. I have some spelling mistakes with words, but grammar and the usage of vocabularies, it's all great.
Well done, Mulham. That's great news.
Thank you.
All right, spelling is very tricky, I must say. Even when we are young, we spend a lot of our primary school lives taking spelling tests, which isn't the greatest. I don't know about your native languages, but English certainly has weird spelling. So, Mulham, I feel for you. I have learnt all those words as well at some point or another. All right. Who else do we have here? We have Elena. Hello, Elena.
Hello, Emmy.
How are you?
Great. I have been a long time on Verbling, but it's a little strange, but it's the first time with you.
All right, well, I was wondering.
So today is something new for me.
Wonderful, that's excellent. I love meeting you new students. So can you tell me a bit about yourself, Elena?
I'm from Russia.
Mm-hmm.
I speak French also and English. I work like a project manager in an architectural firm. That's all about me.
All right. Which part of Russia do you live in?
In Moscow.
Okay. Well, at least I know that. My geography is not too great, but I can deal with like the biggest cities, the capital cities. All right, well, it's lovely to meet you, Elena. And is there a particular reason why you're learning English? Is it for your job?
Yes, and it's one reason, and another reason I'm just keen on languages, and so always I'm always happy to communicate with the knowing English gives us a lot of opportunity in this way.
Absolutely. Well, that's awesome. It's lovely to meet you. So hopefully we can help you a little bit in this class. And who else are we going to say hello to? Ali, hello.
Hi Amy, how are you?
How are you today? Jinx, I'm fine, thanks.
I am fine, thanks. It was working day for me. I worked today, and it's night here. I have some spare time, and I wanted to join class.
Wonderful. That's what I like to hear, Ali, that you're using your spare time by learning English instead of watching TV. Well, that's great news. And how is everything going? How's your work going? Is it going okay?
Yeah, everything is okay. It's the beginning of the year, and I have a lot of work to do.
Yes.
It's working hard time for me,
I agree, I have to say, Ali. It's like a new year and lots of new stuff to do. So that's, I don't know, to be expected, I suppose. But still, you don't want to stress yourself out right at the beginning of the year. Nice to see you back again.
Nice to see you as well.
And Simone, how are you today?
Hi, hello. I am well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm very well, thank you, Simone. Tell me what's going on in your part of the world at the moment. Are you having a good life?
Not at all. It's boiling. It's really boiling here. Really, I am like it's 54 Celsius now degrees.
Oh my gosh, that is boiling.
Yeah, it's boiling. It's annoying. I feel like tired and irritated sometimes, and it's not good to be concentrated, but I am here trying to learn English anyway.
Well, despite all of those problems, Simone, I'm very impressed that you're still trying to learn English. Are you at home at the moment?
Yes, I am.
And how's your house with the weather? Do you have like fans or air conditioning or anything?
Yes, I have all of those, but it's not enough, trust me. I have to take at least six showers a day.
Oh my gosh, Simone, I actually can't imagine it being from England. You know what England's like.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
6 showers a day. Well, at least you know you're clean.
Very clean, indeed.
Yes, but very hot as well. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That sounds a bit stressful to me. But anyway, it's still lovely to have you. Maybe we can distract you from the temperature for an hour or so.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
We'll do our best.
Okay, thank you.
Interesting question. This, depending on what country you're from, is called different things. In the UK, we call it a plait. In the USA, they call it a braid. Okay.
Braid, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Emerson, hello, welcome.
Hello. Do you hear me?
Hi. Yes, I can hear you, and I'm just wondering if I've met you before. I don't think so. Can you hear me, Emerson?
Yes, I can.
Okay, wonderful. Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
You're from Brazil as well. Okay, so tell me which part of Brazil you're in.
Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Which part of Brazil? Which part of the country?
Teacher, I'm from Brazil. I live in Campo Grande, Mato Grosso do Sul.
Is that in the south or the north?
It's south.
In the south. And is it really hot where you are?
Yes, very hot here. Right now we are in summer, and very hot is in our city, in our state. It's too much.
Well, yes, that's just what we heard from Simone. I don't know if you're anywhere near each other. Probably not, hey? Are you far away from each other, Simone, or near?
Yes, far away. But actually, he lives in a very hot city as well. But I think mine is worse.
Okay, I think it would be hard to beat 50. Did you say 54 degrees?
So actually, it's the feeling, you know.
Yeah.
But it's almost 38, you know, technically, but we feel like more than 50.
Because of the humidity, is it?
Yes, and also because there is no wind, because we are really far away from the sea.
Right. Okay, so Emerson Simone is also from Brazil, and she's just been telling us how hot it is. So we feel for you, those of us who aren't in such hot temperatures. So hopefully we can try and keep you entertained for an hour and make you forget about the boiling weather that you're suffering at the moment. So today, guys, we're going to read an article, and I'm going to give you the link. We're actually going to spend this class focusing on our reading. So what I would like you to do is, if you want to load up that article in your own window, then go ahead, and I'll also share my screen. I would just like you to just take your time today. We probably won't get through the whole thing, but you are welcome to finish this yourself later on. And it's about adoption, with a focus on South Korea. So I just want you to take your time and use this class to practice your pronunciation, your reading skills, and hopefully we're going to learn some vocabulary as well. And we'll pause after every paragraph or so that we can check that everybody, excuse me, understands the words. And I'm going to get started.
God bless you.
Thank you. That was surprising. Ali, you're going to start us off. Is that okay?
Yeah, why not?
Great. So I'd love you to go for the title, please.
Okay. Why a generation of adoptees is returning to South Korea.
Right. Okay, so it gives us a little bit of an introduction about what we're going to read, and then the picture gives us an idea too. It's always a good idea when you're doing tests and reading things in another language to use as much information as you're given to help you, not just the words in the actual text, but all of the context. Because it can help a lot. So we can see that picture there. I won't make any comments on it for the moment. It does have a little caption. Could you read the caption, please, Ali?
Okay. Amy Mi-young Ginter, with her birth mother, Park Jong-hee, at Park's home in Gimcheon, South Korea.
Perfect. Well done, Ali. Don't worry too much about the Korean names. I don't know either, but we'll just do our best and we'll focus on the English that we do know. Okay, so we've got obviously a girl with her birth mother, and they're in South Korea and they're somehow being there together, so perhaps they've been reunited. We're going to find out. So what I will do is just zoom in a bit so that it's a bit bigger. We won't do that. We'll do that. All right, Ali, off you go whenever you're ready.
Okay. The first paragraph?
Yes, please, from Laura.
Okay. Laura Crandall's newest tattoo runs down the inside of her left forearm and reads K85 160, a number that dates to her infancy. Crandall was 9 months old when her South Korean mother left her at a police station in Seoul. The police brought her to halt Children's Services as a local adoption agency where a worker assigned Clunder the case number K85-160. It was only 2 weeks into 1985, but she was already the 160th child to come to the agency that month, and she would go on to be one of 8,800 children sent overseas from South Korea that year. Clunder became part of the largest adoption exodus from one country in history. Over the past 6 decades, at least 200,000 Korean children, roughly the population of Des Moines, have been adopted into families in more than 15 countries, with a vast majority living in the United States.
Well done, Ali. That was really great reading. Thank you for such a good start. Okay, Ali, just 2 words I want to practice with you. This one here is infancy.
Infancy.
Good. And this one is not assigned, but assigned.
Assigned.
Much better. Well done. Okay, so does anyone have any questions about what we've read in this paragraph? Vocabulary or general meaning?
I have a question about the word exodus.
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 Okay, who knows what an exodus is?
It's like when a large number of, in this case, children were being adopted, like something like that.
Yep, it's not. Yep. Thank you so much.
I think
Everybody's leaving. Everybody's leaving.
Road movement or immigration, large amount of people.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, guys. So, yes, that's absolutely true. So basically, an exodus is when a large number of people leave a certain place at the same time. So it's actually a chapter in the Bible when lots of people left Israel. Oh God, my Bible knowledge is bad. But yeah, it's basically people leaving a place. A lot of people. Okay, any other questions? No? Alright, so it's relatively straightforward so far. We're going to carry on. And this time it is Elena's turn. I'm just going to say quickly hello to Onur.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. How do I pronounce your name?
It's Onur, but you can pronounce it any way you want.
Thank you, Onur. Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Turkey.
From Turkey.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've just begun reading this article, so you haven't missed anything, Onur, and I'm sure you'll be able to catch up. If you have any questions, just ask, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, Elena, Clunder.
Okay. Clunder, who is 30, has a warm goofiness and a tendency towards self-deprecation. I was the chubby kid with glasses wearing Lisa Frank t-shirts, she said, shaking her head at the memory of her middle school self. But she also resonated in intensity. She chose the tattoo of her case number as a critic of adoption, she told me. I was a transaction. I was a number in the same way that people who are criminalized and institutionalized are given numbers.
Thank you. Well done, Elena. We'll just go through this paragraph here. So the first one I want to talk about is this one here. This is chubby kid. Chubby kid.
Chubby kid.
That's great. So try not to make the ending on the kid sound like a T. Try to go for a D. So not chubby kit, but chubby kid.
Chubby kid.
That's better, yeah. Thank you, well done. Okay, you did great with this one, but this one was a bit tricky, right? So this is institutionalized.
Institutionalized.
Perfect.
Okay.
From institution, so you just do institution plus analyzed, okay?
Yeah. Got it.
Okay, so, right, questions about vocabulary.
Critique. Is it like to criticize?
Yes, it's like to give your opinion about something, absolutely. Well done. Any other questions?
So she used her number in order to criticize the adoption of children.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And what's the meaning of and a tendency towards self-deprecation? What's the meaning of deprecation? Self-deprecation.
Good question. What does self-deprecation mean? Does anyone know?
Against something, against herself, maybe.
Yes, very good. So can you give an example to make it a bit clearer?
Maybe she is not very comfortable with herself. Don't like herself, I think.
Yes, so self-deprecation is a way of saying that you're, as a person, you're not very good. It's like the opposite of arrogance, kind of, in a way. Yeah, that's a good explanation. Okay. Any other questions?
Is it like diffidence?
Yes. Like, oh, sorry. This is very annoying. Sometimes videos start playing on websites that you don't want them to. Okay, sorry guys, I missed that. What was the question? Is it like...
I was saying, is it like diffidence, the word diffidence?
Is it like diffidence? Yes, similar. Yes, I think maybe self-deprecation is a little bit more... How could I explain it? It's sort of like a bit more active. So you would say things about yourself which are sort of like, I'm no good at this or whatever. But diffidence is more like sort of just a feeling, just a feeling of like lacking confidence, basically. But yes, it's very similar, just slightly different. Okay. So what I would like to do, if does anyone have any other questions? No? Okay, I'm going to ask, who should I ask? Simone, why not? Simone, can you just tell us what's happened so far? Who is this girl, Laura, and what happened to her?
So she was adopted when she was a child. Not only her, but a lot of children had been sent to another countries. For example, the United States, and now she's an adult. She's 30 years old, and she is criticizing the adoption because it was huge. Not only her, it was a lot of children, and so at this point she was like talking about her tattoo to say, oh my gosh, why this thing had happened to me or to another children.
Okay, beautiful summary. Thank you, Simone. So there's a picture of Laura, and I'm just going to get Elena to read one more paragraph, please, Elena, from here, Klunda.
Okay, it's pleasure. Klunda, who was raised in Wisconsin, moved back to South Korea in 2011, which is where I met her one night last February along with 3 of her friends. all adoptees from the United States. We were at a restaurant in the Hongdae section of Seoul, known for its galleries, bars, and cheap restaurants. Outside, the street teemed with university students, musicians, artists, and clubbers. The neighborhood is also a popular spot for the approximately 300 to 500 adoptees who have moved to South Korea, primarily from the United States, but also from France, Denmark, and other nations. Most lack fluency in the languages and possess no memories of the country they left when they were younger. But they are back, hoping for a sense of connection to South Korea, to their birth families, to their other adopters.
Well done. Thank you, Elena. That was really lovely. Just this word here, you need to pronounce the E sound a little bit more. So adoptees. Adoptees.
Adoptees.
Yeah, it's a bit like employees. So you've got to emphasize the double E because otherwise it's a little bit unclear what the word is. But apart from that, beautiful. Okay, questions about vocabulary from this section, guys? Relatively straightforward. Everyone following? All right, next paragraph. And, yep, did somebody have a question?
No.
Okay, sorry, I thought I heard somebody about to speak there. Mulham, it's your turn from that night.
Okay. That night, Clander and her friends passed plates of bibimbap, rice topped with meat and vegetables. Soon dubu, jiga, tofu stew, and bajon, scallion pancake, around the table and ordered bottles of beer and soju. Everyone there was a member of Adoptee Solidarity Korea, or ASK. It was started as a reading group in 2004 by a handful of politically progressive Korean female adoptees and one man in their 30s who began to discuss why Korean single mothers felt pressure to give away their children. 90% of those who placed their children for adoption are not married. They talked about a culture in which single mothers are often ostracized, one in which employers typically ask women about their marital status in job interviews. Parents sometimes reject daughters who raise their children alone, and the children of single mothers are often bullied in school. They also questioned why the government offered a little aid to mothers to help keep their families intact. At an adoption conference organized a year after the group was created, members handed out flyers that read, in part, ASK stands in opposition to international adoption. They sold T-shirts designed by Kimora Payol, Nathalia Lemoyne, an early adoptee activist, that depicted a wailing baby with a large stamp on its rear end, made in Korea.
Great, thank you. Wonderful reading. Let's just go through a couple of words that are a little bit tricky. If I can find them again. Here we go. This is the first one. This is ostracized.
Okay, ostracized.
Yeah, ostracized has the emphasis on the first syllable, okay?
Is it ostracized or is it ashwa?
Ostracized. Sorry, what did you say, Mulham?
Is the O ashwa? The O sound at the beginning, ostracized?
Yes, it's
like
an O.
pain?
Yeah. Ostracized, exactly.
Okay.
And just underneath was this one, which is a little bit confusing because it does look very similar to Marshall, but actually it's marital, not Marshall.
Okay, marital.
Marshall is with the I and A the other way around, right? TIA, the I and the T. So marital status. What was the next one? This one here is flyers.
Flyers.
Yep. And then this one is pronounced red.
Red, because it's a past. Yeah.
Yes,
the past
exactly. Yeah, but it could be handout flyers that read. It's just that you've got to see which tense you're in as you're reading, Mulham. So that one's very tricky. But well done. You figured it out for yourself. Great reading. Got a group of excellent readers today, which is awesome. Okay, so does anyone want to ask about vocabulary meaning?
What about the word ostracized?
I thought someone might ask about that, Mulham. It's another chance to practice the pronunciation for you guys. Ostracized. What does ostracized mean? Does anybody know?
Yes, when everyone like ignore you.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it, Simone. So people are either ignoring you or they're whispering about you, talking about you. You become the center of attention in an unwanted way. So it's not a pleasant thing to happen, actually. Any other questions? No? Okay, so we're just going to pause for a second because we've read another big chunk now. So I'm going to ask Ali. Ali, before Simone gave us a little bit of a summary about the first part here, so just the last couple of paragraphs we've read, can you tell us what has happened next? What else have we found out about this lady and what happened to her?
Okay, there is a group of people. They are how to say adopted before, and they are most of them are their 30s right now, and they live in a city. I don't know, in South Korea right now.
Yep.
The paragraph describes the neighborhood where they are living right now.
Yep.
And there are some students, musicians, artists, clubbers in the neighbor. And the next paragraph mentioned about why Korean mothers adopted their children, and the main reason is, I think, when they want to find a job and they go to interview, employers ask them about their marital status or their children. If they are not married, it's not good for them. It's difficult to grow up children as a single woman, and their children bullied in the school. These are some reasons they adopted their children.
Beautiful, Ali. Thank you. These are some reasons why they put their children up for adoption. Okay, so it's I'm just going to write that into the chat box because it's a little bit tricky just how the verb works. So if you want your child to be adopted by somebody, then you put them up for adoption. To adopt means that you are the new parents of a child, okay? All right, well done. That was a great summary. Okay, let's continue reading. And Emerson, since you're back, I would love you to read, please, from Over Time. Are you there, Emerson? No, perhaps not. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll ask Onur. Could you read, please, from Over Time?
Okay. Over time, ASK backed away from its its message of ending adoption. It was too polarizing, adoptees said, and hard for people to hear anything we said after the word stop. Jenny Na, one of the group's founders, wrote in a history of ASK. But in recent years, members, along with other Korean adoptee activists, have built an improbable political campaign lobbying for legislation that has helped reduce the flow of Korean children overseas. In the process, they have emerged as leaders in a movement to question the very concept of international adoption, one that has galvanized other adoptees around the world.
Thank you. Could you do one more paragraph, please?
Okay. Some of those leaders, including Klander and our friend Kim Stoker, who was also at dinner that night, want to stanch the flow of Korean children entirely. I get parents' this desperation to have children, said Stoker, who at 41 was the oldest of the group at the table. Accepting diverse families is great, she said, but she added, I don't think it's normal adopting a child from another country, of another race, and paying a lot of money. I don't think it's normal to put a child on a plane away from all its kin and different smells. It's a very modern phenomenon.
Great. Thank you very much. That was absolutely beautiful reading, Onur. No corrections from me, so I'm going to ask if anyone has any questions about the vocab.
I have one. It's
yes.
Galvanized.
Galvanized. Okay. It might be possible to guess this, but does anyone actually know what galvanized means?
It's like attract.
Attract? Okay.
No, not attract. Actually, it's like stimulate.
Stimulate. Yes, I think stimulate is a better one. Attract isn't too bad. Sometimes it's good to give a range of synonyms so you kind of get the idea of the word. But yeah, I think stimulate is probably better. So it sort of causes people to become stimulated, excited, to know about something that they may not have known about before. So yeah, good point. Okay, any other questions?
I have another. What does it mean by saying want to stanch the flow of children?
Thank you, this is good. This is actually a misspelling. This should be to staunch the flow. S-T-A-U-N-C-H. Can anyone guess what this means if you guys haven't heard it before? No?
No.
Okay. It simply means to stop, to try and stop the flow. So if you staunch the flow of something, it means that you try to block it. If you have a think about water coming out of a tap or maybe a leakage, you want to try and staunch the flow of a leakage because you don't want it to leak. So you try and block the leak with something, I don't know, a cloth or whatever. This is sort of more in a figurative sense, of course. They want to stop the Korean kids leaving Korea and being adopted by overseas parents. Any other questions? No? All right, so Simone, I'm going to get you to read, and then we are actually going to pause and just discuss this a bit. So have a think about what we've read, guys, because I think it's an interesting topic, and I want to hear your opinions on it. So Simone, could you read from neither, please?
Okay. Neither Kanda nor Stalker believes international adoption will stop in South Korea anytime soon. But ending it was they want. As Klanda put it, our goal is to make ourselves extinct. In 1954, a couple from Oregon, Beth and Harry Hart, went to a local auditorium to watch a presentation by World Vision, the Christian Relief Organization, on Korean War orphans. At the time, South Korea was hoping to recover from its brutal war with North Korea. We had never seen such emaciated arms and legs, wrote Bertha, a nurse and a fundamentalist Christian who wore round wire glasses. Such wistful little faces looking for someone to care. Federal law prohibited families from adopting more than two children from abroad, but in 1955, the two senators from Oregon sponsored the bill for relief of certain Korean War orphans, which Congress passed specifically to allow the Holts to adopt 4 boys and 4 girls. Reports of Harry Holt, a farmer and lumberjack, coming home with 8 children appeared in newspapers around the country, and soon prospective parents flooded the Holts with letters saying that they, too, wanted to adopt war orphans. Let me scroll down. Within a year, the couple had established the Holt adoption program in the United States, followed later by a Holt agency in South Korea, the first and still one of the biggest international adoption agencies.
Thank you, Simone. Lovely reading. So let's just go through a couple of words in here that are maybe new. This is emaciated.
Emaciated.
Good. Where was the next one? The next one is here. Flooded. Flooded.
Flooded.
Yeah. I know it looks like a double O and it looks like it should be flu or something, but it's not. It's more like a U sound. So it's flooded. This one here is war.
War.
Yep. Or with an American accent, you can use the R as well, but it's the same sound, okay? All right, so questions. Vocabulary questions from anyone? No? All right, so what we're going to do, guys, is just pause for a second now, because I think this is quite an interesting topic, the topic of adoption. I just want to say hi to David and welcome. Are you there, David? No? All right. Well, we've covered quite a few different things. So what we're talking about here is the adoption of children from other countries, from abroad. And so I just want to take that topic in general, first of all, before we look at specific situations like war. So I'm going to ask Mulham to start us off. Mulham, what do you think about adoption from overseas places, adopting children from another country?
According to what we have read, or according to my opinion?
According to your opinion.
I think a man should be able to do whatever he wants to do. So it's I totally accept it. It should be in the law. It should be allowed, and of course, it can be a good. It can help the society accept, or any country accept foreign people.
Yeah.
More easily. Yeah.
Okay, good point. You brought up a couple of good points there. One, you think people should be able to do what they want, and two, it may help I guess what you're saying is sort of like racial awareness or acceptance in the country where the adoptee goes to, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mulham. Let's see what Elena has to say.
I would like to say that I believe that international adoption could give any opportunities for the children who should be adopted. Yeah, who were put up for adoption.
Well done. Yep.
Yes, and it's a little tricky questions because as any things, it has some positive and negative moments. Yep. But from my point of view, it's better to be adopted from a foreigner, for example,
by a foreigner. Yep.
For a foreigner, than being in the orphans during the whole life. And I can't see something bad that you should be in a foreign country as this women was raised in United States, and finally she had an opportunity to return to her country, to come back, and that was great. She was educated, she was raised, and finally everything is fine for her. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And we can't know what could be with her if she stayed in her country, and what the possibilities he could have. So I believe that it has more positive.
Okay, very well explained.
Influences to adopt this than negative.
All right, thank you. Good point you've made as well. So far, both you and Mulham have sort of think that this is probably a good thing, really. Ali, how about you? What do you think?
For me, it's normal, to adopt children from different country or from abroad. Maybe for children who adopted, for them it should be new opportunities. Maybe if their situation is bad in their country, and they can't have education or healthy food, or I don't know, something like that, and people adopted them and provide them good opportunity about life, about their education, something like that. It's good, and it's good for the parents who wants children and they don't have children. It's good, I think. No.
Okay.
There is no problem I can see.
All right, thank you, Ali. So I think I just want to double check, but I don't think anybody in this class has been adopted. Is that right? Okay, I'll take that as a no. So Simone, what I want to ask you is a slightly different question. Please give us your opinion on the general situation, but I'd also like to ask you, are you surprised by how strongly these women feel about having been adopted by foreigners?
No, I am not surprised. And the main problem here affected. It's like a lot of bots, you know, so to sell people or to buy people. That's the main problem. When you feel like, okay, the people who are buying those children, maybe they with their parents and suffer and a lot of
Simone,
don't have the right to buy.
Simone, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just your connection is not really clear, so I haven't actually been able to understand what you're saying. I was hoping that it might improve. I'm going to come back to you in a minute, just in case it improves, okay? Because we can't hear you, and it's quite annoying. I can hear that you're saying something very interesting. I'm just going to go to Onur, and I'll come back to you with the same question in a moment, because I would love to hear it. It's just that something wrong with your connection right now. So Onur, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. Tell us your opinion, Onur, and I would also like to know from you, what is the situation with adoption in your country?
Adopting children from other countries?
Yes, or maybe children being adopted, both ways, whatever.
Okay. I don't think it's very common here to adopt children from other countries. But I'm not sure if people's perspectives about adoption have developed enough. Like I see no debates here about adoption or on similar things. But I saw people getting angry with the policies of other countries where they take children from their own parents when they mistreat them and give to other families. So yes, like overall, I don't think people think very much about adoption here.
Okay.
But in my view, it's there's nothing wrong with it. That's what we were discussing about.
Yeah. I'm interested to know also, Onur, is adoption common in your country? So do you know personally anyone who's been adopted, or is it quite rare?
It's quite rare, actually. I don't think people would see an adopted kid the same way they see the kids that are not adopted. I'm sure people would treat them differently.
In what way? Would they be ostracized?
Ostracized?
Yes.
Not ostracized, maybe, but maybe they would treat them in a different way, but in a positive way. But I guess that positive way would remind the children that they are adopted.
Yeah.
Like not the normal and neutral way. But I'm sure people would still can't accept the fact that there is nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, for sure. Interesting. Okay. Thank you, Onur. That was great. Let's see if Simone is back. Are you there now, Simone?
Yes.
All right. Would you be able to just try again, and we'll hopefully be able to hear you this time?
Hear me? No.
I think you just asked me if I could hear you. I heard the second half of the sentence.
Sorry.
Oh, it doesn't sound too good. Is there any chance that you could do us a quick summary in the chat box, Simone? Because I'd love to still have you involved. It's a bit frustrating. But just if you could do us a couple of bullet points about what you were saying in response to questions. All right. So let's just talk briefly, guys, before we go. We've only got 5 minutes left, and I'm waiting to hear if Simone can give us a little comment in the chat box. But do you think the situation is different if, for example, that we had in the text, there is a very bad situation in the country that the child comes from? So maybe a war, I don't know, lots of different situations could cause that, and maybe natural disaster or whatever. Does that make any difference, do you think, to how the child would feel later on about being adopted? Who would like to have a go at answering, or just give your opinion?
In this way, it's good. It's good solution for this children, and they have a chance to have the better life.
Yep.
In their future.
What do you think about the whole perspective from the parents' point of view? Do you think that adopting a child from another country is in some way different for the parents to, for example, if they adopted a child from their own country?
But they should be conscious about about doing this fact. Doing that, yes, and should be prepared for that. If they are not against of that, they could do it. If they want to adopt another child from his country, he could do it also. So it depends. If the parents are not against, why not?
Absolutely. I love Simone's point, actually. It's a really good one. I'm just going to read it out. She says, I think the problem is not being adopted, actually. It's to be bought and sold as if you were like a commercial good, which is, yeah, what comes up in the article. And I think if that had happened to me, it's very difficult to imagine, obviously. But yeah, I think that would feel very strange. And also being removed entirely from the culture into which you were born. I suppose maybe, I don't know if this makes a difference on the way you look, but it's clear that a lot of these women decided to return to Korea, so there must be something pulling them back there, despite the fact that they don't even know the language, they've had no contact, and they were raised in totally different countries and different cultures and languages. I think it's interesting how somehow, despite that, they still feel a very strong connection to the country that they originally belonged to. Would anyone like to make one last comment before we finish?
No, just thank you for the class.
Thank you, Simone. We heard that. I'm so sorry that we couldn't. Very frustrating.
Oh gosh.
It must be the weather. Blame it on the
weather. Yes, my computer is like
overheating. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for some wonderful reading. You should all be very proud of yourselves. There were excellent pronunciation in this class today. If you would like to join me for another class, we're going to be talking about language that the world will speak in 2115, i.e. in 100 years. So do join me if you would like to. Other than that, have a really good evening. Cool down if you're hot, warm up if you're cold, and go to bed if you're tired. And I hope to see you all again soon. See you later.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you.
bye bye.